Hey guys, and welcome back to Lost Gaming. This is take number 4 for trying to get through this section of the game. So I had 2 recordings just flat out fail. My third recording actually worked great, except for the fact that it had absolutely no game audio of any kind. And while I know that part of doing any Let's Play is hearing me talk and conversate with you, you kind of lose a lot when you're not able to hear the background sounds and music, especially with how this episode ended. Well, this has actually worked out a whole lot better than I had originally gone through, so I kind of actually hope it's even with Black Rose falling like that. Because I really want to get more of these enemies into the mix, because I really need to get more things like the F-Virus cores. I used the last of them to get into this area, and I don't have any more. So let's... Not actually sure. I've got that a couple of times, but I never actually checked to see what it was. Doesn't look like it's any of stuff that Kite can use. What was it? Oh, it's a level 30 heavy blade weapon. Not bad. Kinda hope that I'll get as lucky as I did in a couple of other situations, and I will be able to kind of plow through this pretty quickly. Because basically I feel like the quicker I can get through this, the better, because I'm wanting to get to the end of this episode, because for heaven's sake, this will be the 4th time I've gone through. I love this game, but playing the same section over and over again does grate on you a little bit. Fortunately, like I said, I did know. It has at least given me some insight into some things that will make this part of the run easier, because I've kind of gone through it several times now. Because, I mean, like you see, I've been hitting these enemies pretty hard. I kind of, shoot, I've done it enough now. I really see what's effective and what isn't. So long as I don't run into too many of the other... There are 2 large monsters that you can run into in this section of the game. You saw the one just a minute ago when and there's another one. When I come run around this way, kind of hoping to take some of the attention away from Black Rose. I'll tell Elk to go first aid. Black Rose to... This is actually a good... She can actually do good damage with that because he is a darkness enemy. So I will keep telling her to hit with the Rye attacks just like I'm doing. And we can smack him down really quick. There's another data drain. And got another one of those. That's nice, but not what I wanted. But fortunately, there's only actually a couple of more monster portals here. Period. There's not too many more that you've really got to deal with in any way. So it was actually kind of nice at least to have some of this refresh my memory. Thought you were healing Black Rose, but apparently it was a little bit too slow. Let's just tell everybody to use their skills. That ought to get helping me out with that. Then I can just keep smacking. And probably get a couple of protect breaks, or at least one. There we go, so I can at least data drain him. So it's not a complete waste of fire score. That's not bad. Like I've said before, like while I need more F virus cores, might even need some to do the post game here. I'm not sure. But you need as many as you can just because you always do. Alright, so we should be... There's only a couple of rooms here. I'm not even going to bother with the fairy orb. Both times I've come in here, I've gotten, or all the times I've come through here, I've gotten monsters. And this is the one time I have not gotten a particular monster. I think it was called a hill or a house giant something. Off the top of my head now, I can't remember now that I'm trying to actually remember. Well, actually, you know what? He'll take care of that. While he's doing that, I can get off at least 2. Now I can use Mage's Soul, get her back up. Black Rose actually should be out of range for getting hit. Or I guess not. But does not matter because now he can be data drained. Third High Forger. Really wanted some F cores. Really did not want to have to go look for these. But oh well. We'll see how it goes. But fortunately, for a little bit, now we've just got cutscenes. Sort of interactive cutscenes, but cutscenes nonetheless.
Dead end? But it feels strange.
and welcome to the Net Slum, Helba's domain.
Ah! Disgusting! What are these things?
We'll get some more backstory from
Net
Helba
Slum?
coming up soon.
There are those who call it that. We call it paradise. Where's Helba?
Alright, so
That is a gate for only those.
I've actually kind of gone through this several times now.
The fake real? And the real fake?
Most of this information is a bunch of crap.
Are you really awake right now? Don't bother pinching yourselves. Our dreams are very realistic.
It's either nonsense or pointless drivel.
I don't know. Really don't know.
I have enough light. Water. Give me.
See, it's just weird,
The process of seeking the
Talks
truth is perfected by
from
repeatedly questioning yourself.
weird-looking characters.
Isn't it similar to the process of making distilled liquor? I name myself from this reason. Before you ask for help, and hence I do not have the intention of answering your question, I want to ask about help.
You done?
Black Rose is not amused. And that right there, that was the part where I actually had a failed recording.
Yes.
It so happens I briefly heard from her recently. The epitaph of Twilight.
Do not
To
forget the
sum
name
it up in a
Tartarga.
nutshell, it is a tale. Or to elaborate further, it is a saga that recounts how the Age of the Spirits came to an end.
The tale of an end?
Indeed. However, the texts are scattered. Even if found, they are extremely difficult to comprehend. Yes, it'll be a very tricky business.
Say, there's something that's been bothering me. The people around here, they all look so different from anybody I've seen anywhere else.
This place was once where all of the unsuccessful non-player characters drifted, sort of a sanctuary for failures. Then, players who considered them amusing came up with their own variations of failed characters. Now, the boundary between player and non-player characters is quite indistinct. Some of them simply don't know which category they fall into. There are maybe even those who have lost their bodies on the outside. Mere memories, faded reminders of the individuals they once were. Only their character data remains intact and active as they wander the network. Yes, the same fate as Harold.
Harold?
I must speak with Morgana to go where she is. The living flesh poses a hindrance, but I must go for our aura. Emma, please give me a little more courage.
Alright, just so I was going to say, don't forget the name Tartarga. He's not so important here, but becomes more interesting in GU.
They're the words of the creator of this world, Harold Hewick.
And some of the things that were talked about there also give you a good
Well,
bit of information
You
on
wanted to see me?
how the events of Dot Hack Sign even occurred.
Epitaph of Twilight. Both of you have succeeded in reaching it as well, I see. Oh, look. We have an unusual and unexpected guest. As a representative of Net Slum, I greet you. Welcome to paradise.
Huh? Ball monk.
You sided with Leos, I see. You cracked easily for someone who was so sure of himself.
Don't judge, I'm not like you.
Stalking the boy is shameful behavior. You've disgraced the name of the descendant of Fianna.
What? Ball monk? You used us?
It was necessary to restore order.
Order? There's an order that the world desires, and then there's the order that you desire. Which form should it take, Ball monk?
The order that I desire, of course.
Now this is a touch I really liked, as all the versions of Leos are coming in and the admins are invading Net Slum. You saw the
featured performer. All the actors have assembled.
lightning strikes in the sky.
Quit your yelling,
That was
woman.
really a nice touch.
You are entities that unquestionably pose a grave threat to this world. I'll delete you all! What did you do?
Uh-oh, Leos, you done
This
goofed.
is her doing. It would appear that she doesn't care for us very much.
Her?
Yes. In other words, this world itself.
Now, normally when they are talking about the world itself, it generally is a reference to Aura. However, in this case, particularly at this point in the timeline, they're actually referring to Morgana. But I think you can all see where this is going now. You've all kind of seen this battlefield before. And now if you didn't know before, now you definitely know. So to new fans and old alike, allow me to introduce you to the next part, or the next phase of the Cursed Wave. Say hello to Magus, the Propagation. Now, if I remember this one correctly, I'm not entirely sure, but if I remember how this works, he will drop these leaves over time, and he has an ability called Death and Rebirth. I believe that the more of these leaves that he has on the field when he uses that ability, the more damage his Death and Rebirth ability will do. It's like almost like a one-to-one situation, that the more of those he's got, the more dangerous he becomes. I'm actually going to tell Black Rose to strengthen, or Black Rose will do that while Help becomes on healing duty, and I get Kite buffed up on my own. I actually never noticed these countdowns before. That actually might have something to do with the Death and Rebirth ability. I'm not entirely sure. Somebody who is much more knowledgeable of this series, and well, not of the series, but of the mechanics of the game itself, would probably be necessary to tell me if that is the case. Quite frankly, all I've ever really done in the past is just absolutely wail on Magus, hit him for as much damage as I can, and just keep doing it over and over again. And quite frankly, if you can hit multiple ones at a time, let's see, I'm going to tell everyone to do that, and then I will come back here and tell Elk to do that. So actually, this should give me the best of everything that I was looking for. Of course not. Elk dies. Let's hurry up and we will use this again. Trying to move around so I can just keep. There we go. Alright, so now we need to get some Mage's Souls out because everybody's kind of running a little low on SP. I'll go back to him and I will tell him to use first aid. And after that, now I am just going to continue to wail. Oof. I think that's about to trigger again. Okay, so apparently when it hits a countdown to 0, that is when the Death and Rebirth ability triggers. So you can actually forestall it by keeping track of the leaves and taking them out before the countdown hits 0. Overall, I actually, because I've gone through and I've actually beaten this once before through several of my recordings, I have not actually found this to be a difficult boss fight. It's just trying to make sure you're ahead of the leaves so that you don't get hit harder by the Death and Rebirth ability, which I guess doesn't actually do more damage the more leaves are on the ground. It's just, I guess, the potential for it occurring more frequently, which can be a very bad situation to find yourself in. You ain't doing a good job of healing us, Elk. Oh, but as long as we keep smacking them around, we've actually kind of now reached a point where we had actually kind of got ahead of him so that he wasn't really... Ooh, this did not trigger the entire time last time I fought him. And I forgot about this ability. So I guess that is what happens if you do too good of a job letting him not activate the Death and Rebirth ability. So no matter what, you can actually wind up in a rough situation. But honestly, I don't think I'm going to be too far off from getting the Protect break. That actually should be coming up pretty soon, I believe. Let's get everybody like that. Oh boy, this I might not have enough time to pull this off. Well, at least because of that, Death and Rebirth took a minute to trigger. And we do have a little bit more time now. Here we go, there's Protect Break. Time for Data Drain. And has become our tradition, full cutscene for a phase. Alright, so now we've actually got into a situation now where we're actually ahead of the curve. Take a few minutes to kind of heal everybody back up, get everything into a situation where I didn't think we'd get hit quite so hard right there. Oh, yep, I kind of forgot about that. That's something that didn't do before, but started doing after. Don't know why she keeps all of a sudden now getting that slow effect. But, I mean, overall, we're not doing too bad. Let's get Elk back on first aid duty. And Kite's doing a Gale of Swords and hitting for about 500 points of damage at a time. There, let's take a look and see how that does. Yeah, not quite as good. So we'll just keep smacking with that. Yeah, that one's actually, if you are not just absolutely on top of everything, that one's pretty much a killer. Let's get that back. Now I want to make sure she's doing the strengthening. Elk is back on first aid. I'll just pop him one quick one of those. And one of those. As you can see, it's just kind of becomes a war of attrition. You just got to be the last one standing and just keep hitting. I mean, that's all you really got to do. Just keep doing the damage. Keep smacking them around. If you take your time and you prepare, this isn't even remotely dangerous. mean, he's got a couple of hard-hitting techniques that do hurt pretty bad, but for the most part, he doesn't really. And now you can designate him for the her. And actually, I'm going to tell them to all use skills and then switch back to Milk and put him back on first aid duty. So now the two of us should be going through. Except when. But you know what? He's on. Milk is on pure duty. And I'm just not even going to. We are just going to keep hitting him as hard as we can. Let's see, is there... She's about to die again. There she goes. Do I have something with higher attack power? Not particularly, but with the higher evasion or the higher accuracy, that will mean I will hit. I won't miss quite so much, and I should now be able to take him out. This should be the last. Yep, there we go. And he's down. So we've managed to take out another phase, but it looks like at the cost of the Net Slum to an extent. Of course, now I think Kite's learned enough to know when to get out of dodge, so...
Let's go. We'll head back to town.
What the hell happened? You're kidding me, right?
And so now we see the field, or the root town, has now become infected, just like many of the protected fields that we had been running into in the past. So as you can see, it's almost as though the virus has mutated and we are now on the verge of an outbreak. I'll see myself out now. I'm sorry, I just couldn't help myself, but I mean, it does raise a good question.
Maybe this was a turning point.
Did Balmung and Leos have a point? So far, everything that we've done, even though with good intentions, has done nothing but make things worse.
The relationship between me and the game, the world, has gone beyond pure amusement.
Are we really doing good in this game, or are we making things worse? Are we bringing the world more towards destruction rather than salvation, as was told to us in Infection?
And it was spreading beyond the network.
However, those are things for us to explore next time. That's the end of .hack Mutation. Alright, so rather than trying to cut, because this is already 35 minutes long and it's actually kind of late and I want to actually get this up today because I want to have one episode up every week till I'm done like I've been doing. I want to even though I'm just doing this for fun. It's kind of a point of pride to me to get it up. So we will be cutting here, and I will see you guys next time.